guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, as you could have seen from the title, I'm going to be talking about the things that you need to do while you're maybe doing like a master's program abroad just for a year, the things that you need to do besides academics and studying and all that good stuff. I decided to do this video because I just felt like it would be a helpful video for other students or international students that are here. So the style of this video is going to be very different. I'm going to be doing my makeup, you know, from scratch, and also telling you about this gorgeous hair, and I'm going to talk alongside in the video. So I'm not going to talk much, I'm just going to let you watch the video, and hopefully you enjoy it. As you're watching this video, please make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. Make sure you like this video even before you watch. After you watch, make sure you like it, and make sure that you leave a comment. I will definitely be reading, be giving some thumbs up, liking some, and replying the ones that ask me questions. So yeah, let's get right into the video. I've already done my eyebrows and I just have like concealer above it, and I'm just going to be doing my foundation and my makeup. I don't have anything on my face besides moisturizer and lip gloss, so I'm gonna wear a primer and I'm gonna start the makeup. I'm gonna do very light, extremely light makeup so that this video is not too long, and then so that this topic can be interesting. So it's quite cold, that's why I'm wearing this what would I call it, outerwear jacket. I'm going out shortly. I need to go and do my nails. This one has fallen off, so I need to go and do my nails. So I'm going out shortly, and yeah, that's why I'm doing makeup. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you all about this hair as well. I should have put it in the title of the video once I'm done. So if you'd like to know more, keep watching. So I also have a mirror right in front of me, so I might be looking down a lot so I can see what I'm doing. Oh, perfect. So yeah, so I'm just going to apply my primer. Everything I'm doing is going to be self-explanatory so that I focus on the topic on the video. I don't like when I watch like Get Ready With Me and the person is saying a story and you're telling me about the brands you're using. I find it very distracting, but I know some people like it, but I don't. I'll try and maybe insert what I'm using on the screen. If I don't, please check the description box. Everything that I used will be stated there. So please, anything that you need to know what I'm using on my face, just check the description box. It should be there. Okay, so now, whew, I'm running out of breath. I've had such a busy morning. Yeah, so the topic of the video. So now let's say you're abroad for your masters. I know we're in October. No, what am I saying? We're in November, or like second week in November. So a lot of international students resumed 2 months ago, 6 September. So a lot of them are just finding their accommodation. Are probably just settling in. Many of them have not even made friends. Just getting into the rhythm of classes, and you know, all of that. Actually, let me put my hair in over. Let me tie my hair back so it's not in my face. You're just getting the rhythm of classes and you're just wondering, you know, you're trying to obviously maximize the best of this academic year. And if you're in the UK, I know they say that from 2020, so 2020 intakes, yeah, 2020 intakes, you're going to get the extra 2 years post-study visa to remain in the UK after their study. But I don't know if people that are in here already would be entitled to that. I doubt. So please do your research. Don't take what I say hook, line and sinker. The first thing that I've done a video similar to this before in the past, and I think I talked about I can't remember how I titled this. Was many years ago, maybe like 7 years ago or 6 years ago. I think maybe 2013 or 2014, many years ago. And I talked about how to choose a master's school, or if a master's is worth it, if doing a master's abroad is worth it, with my own experience and stuff. So yeah, so this is just like a continuation. I'll try and link that video as well, just so you guys can watch it if you're interested. I would say the first things, besides academics, like besides school, besides studying, is to develop very good relationships with your teachers. I know that people actually don't tell you this, but trust me, your tutors in school are not just there to just teach you and keep you moving. Develop very solid relationships. Like, you probably have maybe 6 modules or 5 modules. Make sure that each professor that is teaching you, you stand out to that professor. Meaning that after classes, you ask them questions. I'm not saying obviously there's no nepotism in the sense that maybe like if you're schooling in the UK now, that doesn't mean that they're gonna give you like higher grades or whatnot. No. Just develop really good relationships with them, because peradventure you get a job in the UK and you need like a reference, they will be the ones to do your reference. I remember when I finished my masters, And my dad was insisting that I did some applications because I just wanted to go back home. But it was like, you know what, just try your luck, you know, apply to this company. It was actually it was going online by himself, looking for companies that were recruiting like graduate scheme programs and whatnot, and telling me to apply to those. This foundation is a bit dark for me, so I always go in and use a lighter one. Yeah, so he was like, you know, why don't you try to apply to this company and that company? And because obviously, as I said, you're an international student, they want one academic reference and probably like previous working experience. Let's say, luckily for you, let's say you worked before in a place, or let's even say, unfortunately for you, you're coming straight from uni, from undergrad. Who will be your reference, you know? So unluckily for me, in my own time, I had this professor that it was so dapper. Like, he was an older man, but he was so well dressed. I'm not going to say his name. He was so well dressed. This professor was so well dressed. So I always used to compliment him in the class that, like, sir, you look so good and stuff. And we just developed like a very healthy professor and student relationship. And so when I needed a reference, it wasn't hard for me to you know, reach out to him and ask him. And he was like, of course, Tosin, I'd be delighted, because he knows me one-on-one, right? No one is going to put their name on the line for someone that they don't know. Do you understand? So he was like, of course, Tosin, like, I'm going to do your reference for you. Just let me know what you need. In fact, when he stopped, like a year after, when he stopped tutoring at the university I went to, he sent me a mail telling me that he had changed schools. He's now in this university now and stuff. And it would this is his new details. This is his new email address, because obviously they use like, so let's say he's teaching at the University of Glasgow. It would be, let's say I'm the lecturer. It will be, let me say, Tosin at University of Glasgow .edu.uk or whatever, however they use it, or however your school's own is. So it's very, very important. Like, I really encourage you, like, don't just go to classes, like, develop quality relationships, and don't just look out for the Nigerian you know, lecturers, because you may not even have any. Like, throughout my module, I don't even think I saw any African okay, we had one, and it was like an African that had stayed in the UK for many years, so he wasn't like a typical like Nigerian lecturer. He couldn't even bother. I think he was even married to like a Caucasian lady, because I think he had said that before in class. So just, you know, be open. Everyone is good. Like, just be open to, you know, making quality relationships with your professors. So that's that. Now, the second point I'm going to talk about is also on relationships, is to ensure that you don't just stick with the people that are from your country. You guys, me, I'm pro, you know, as I say, like, I'm pro, we're both black people, or we're both Asians, because I don't think just Nigerians watch me. I find that we are very collective in nature. We collective in the sense of we Asians and Africans, we're very, and even the Europeans, like people, or like people from the Scandinavian countries, they're very collective in nature. So when you go to a new environment, instead of you to mix with people from other indigenes, all the Indians are going together, all the Malaysians and Chinese people are going together, all the Africans are going together. How are you going to be able to learn cultures? How are you going to be able to think beyond the scope of your knowledge? How are you going to be able to foster quality relationships with people that don't think like you? You know, that's how you even know that you think across boards. Like, if you're speaking to people that have different faith belief systems, you might even be a born again Christian and they believe in cows or whatever they believe in. How are you going to be able to say that, you know what, I can actually be civil with these people if you don't mix with people? So that's one thing I'm really, really grateful for. And luckily for me, I think in my class there was only one other Nigerian. And luckily, as I said, I'd known her from Nigeria already. We had gone to the same school in Nigeria for a while. So I already knew her. In fact, when I first came, we weren't even so close. We both told ourselves that we'll be close, but we want to make friends with other people from other cultures. So my friends were like German. I think one of my closest friends was a German guy. Then I made some Indian friends, like my Indian friend as well, Karen. Like, I just made friends from every culture. Until today, those people are still my friends. Like, I still have their numbers. We still FaceTime each other. Like, it's so important, because you guys, the reason your parents are sponsoring you abroad, or the reason you're sponsoring yourself abroad, is to, no, besides academics, is to give yourself a stepping stone to be more exposed, for exposure. I remember that when I was growing up, and my dad used to pay for trips for us to, like, every summer holiday like this, we're out of Nigeria. And I used to ask him, like, as in why, and he was like, he just wanted his children to have, like, exposure. That's just the only word that's coming to my heart. Like, just to be exposed, just not to be myopic in your thinking. So it's very important that you don't just say, and let me even be real with you, in as much as, you know, I attend a church that was founded by a Nigerian. If that means you're not Nigerian, attending a Nigerian church, please by all means don't. Do you understand what I'm saying? If that's going to help you to meet other people from other cultures or even locals, that's good, you know. Not just even being friends with people for the purpose of, you know, them helping you and stuff. Just because you schooled in Scotland, how would you mix with you need to mix with Scottish people. You're schooling in Germany, you need to mix with German people, you know. So ensure that you make relationships with locals, your professors, and students from other cultures. So that's the second point. Now the third thing I'm going to talk about, it seems like I've been in this foundation forever. I think it should be well blended now. The third thing I'm going to talk about with, like, you know, schooling abroad, what you should do is to ensure that you travel. Ensure that you travel. This is something that till today I always kick myself in the foot for, because I didn't. Like my friend that I said, the other Nigerian, she traveled because I don't know about now, but then as an international student with a UK visa, you're able to go to Turkey with like an e-visa, or you just need to go online and pay like £25 and you go. In fact, I wanted to go. She told me, let's buy tickets and let's just go. You apply for the visa online. I told my dad, and you know me, my dad was very, my dad was like, don't go, they're fighting in Turkey, what are you looking for there? It's just the same way people tell you not to go to Nigeria because of Boko Haram, but you know what I mean? Like, Boko Haram is there, but it's probably not where you're going to. So like, out of paranoia, I didn't go. She went by herself, and I actually wish I did. So make sure like you travel. My other Indian friend Karen went to about, I think, 5 countries. Like, because you're a student, you're getting allowance, or I don't even know what I'm doing. You're getting allowance with this my makeup. You're getting allowance. You're able to you have more free time. In as much as I know masters could be tedious, but you have weekends, you have short breaks, you have Christmas period. You can go to, even if it's just you touring the UK, you can go to London, whatever city you're in. If you're in America, visit other states. Like, plan around it. If that even means you getting like extra work. My own parents, I was such a parent's child, man. They insisted I do not work during my masters, but I'm thankful I didn't, because I was doing YouTube and I was able to focus on that as well. Like, your parents like might tell you not to work and all that, but if you want to work so that you can, you know, be able to afford this shit, just ensure that it doesn't affect your academics. Because I think with a student visa, you're only allowed to work 20 hours a week. I hope it's still the same, or I think it's still the same. Yes, I think it is 20 hours. I'll ask my brother just to verify. Just 20 hours a week. So like, get like extra weekend job that you can use to afford like these trips. Travel, like, see the world. Don't just, you know, get the privilege, let me say, go to America for school and you don't get to visit the neighboring countries. You'll be surprised how many countries you can visit with a Nigerian passport. Go online, do your research, you know. So that's one thing I really wish I did that I didn't. Because to be honest, once you finish from your masters and you go back home and you get a job or you start a business, there's really no time. Like, you literally till now, even now, like, besides maybe because I live here and maybe because I traveled so much, like growing up and now, I don't really have the desire to, you know, hop on a plane. Like, I have like three Nigerian passports which are well used. So maybe that's why I don't know, maybe that's why it doesn't really shock me. There are people that probably had the same experiences as well growing up. I mean, when I say growing up till I was about maybe 23, every 2 months I was out of the country. Maybe even people that had those same experiences, they still love to travel, but it's not just my thing. Like, it would be nice to go on a trip, but maybe, I don't know, it's just not my thing. So it's not something that is on the top of my adventure list in life, right? It should be, but it isn't until then. So I would actually encourage you to just travel. Like my youngest brother, even my immediate brother, he's like, I think, how old is he? My youngest brother is like 23 or 24. I think he's 23. I'm not sure. I think he's 23. And you guys, even now when I want to like apply for like visas, like Schengen visas and stuff, just to visit like neighboring, I always ask him because he knows everything. He's such a globetrotter. You see that allowance that our parents, like your parents will give you for like maybe schooling allowance, he uses everything for holidays, like everything. He's always going from country to country. And my younger brother too that lives in Canada as well is the same thing. So I just want to encourage you, like, just, you know, Google. In fact, Google is so, you can even budget. You can say, you know what, £300 holidays, £200 holidays. You just want to use that period of your life before life gets busy. You get a full-time job that you barely get any time off, and even the time that you get off, you just want to use it to sleep. So you might definitely want to consider that, traveling. Another thing I want to just talk about as a student as well, that you can do, alongside, as I said, academics, is develop other interests as well. So let's say you're doing a master's for, what would I say? For, let me say, what's the most common course people do, man? Let's say you're doing an MBA, right? You're abroad for an MBA. I know it's very tedious, like you probably don't get any free time, but I always say that when there's a will, there's a way. Is try to get other certifications while you're doing your master's abroad, in the sense of not just like the school degree that you get. Go online, look for courses that you can pay for, that by the time you're, even if, especially for people that maybe they're just fresh out of uni, so that when you're going into the job market, besides you just saying, oh, you went to the best private school, you have an undergrad degree, you have a master, you also have like skills. So let's say you're in like business, you do like an Excel, Excel, like an Excel certification, or you do like, you're in computer, you do like maybe like an Oracle course, just something just to harness your skill. And the reason why I say while you're doing your master's is because your brain is still very sharp with learning. That's why if you studied accounting, for instance, the advice that you do your ICANN, or at least you start your ICANN while you're already in uni. So like from your second year, already start taking lessons, already start writing exams. Even if you fail, you still have lots of years ahead of you to retake those exams. So your brain is still fresh, you're still keen on learning, like information is still very easy to adopt or adapt, because you're already in like a learning mode. So I really, really recommend that, while you're doing your master's, and it doesn't even need to be like an academic course or academic skill. It can be, in creative writing. Like for me, I started my business during that time. It can be, taking short business courses just to add to yourself as a person. Because trust me, when you enter the real world, you're not in a structured environment. No one is telling you that you have classes by 10. It's very difficult to want to take on new challenges, So definitely that's one thing I know that you should want to do. Oh yeah, and even talking about skills, I forgot to mention, besides even like academic skills or even just bettering yourself, this can also be the time to pick up like, good hobbies. I know that there were some of my friends that started learning how to swim. I could already swim. What I did in that period, that was that I read a lot of books. I think in one of my videos, I think I wrote about what to do while you're single and waiting. Not my books, in one of my videos. What to do while you're single and waiting. I talked about how I learned how to improve my cooking skills and stuff. Not because of marriage and whatnot, but just because, you're an adult, everyone should fend for themselves. And I had that time alone. I wasn't in my parents' kitchen. Nobody was, if I make the rice and it's not sweet, I would eat the error, and I would know where to improve on the next time. So I also learned how to cook a lot during that period. So you can, whatever it is that you want to do, if it's sewing, you want to learn how to sew, you want to learn how to bake, you're probably living like maybe in an accommodation where you have all these appliances and stuff. Practice, practice, practice. This is one of the best times to harness those skills. Okay? Yes, my face is coming together. Yeah, so as I was saying, so you want to use that time for self-reflection. And obviously, I'm assuming that you chose this master's because you presumed, or you assume, that it will be something that you want to be able to work with eventually. But obviously, let's say along or on the journey, while you're doing your master's, you realize that, maybe geology really isn't for me. Like, maybe I just wasted like £18,000 doing this course. So you want to spend that time to actually kind of reflect and think of how best, like, you've already made the choice. It's already not too late to probably, change courses or go back. You're already probably going to have the degree. So you've decided that you're going to, put everything on the stake and just, ensure that at least you finish well. What are you going to do? What's your next course of action? So you want to spend time actually thinking. If you already know that you should have probably just convinced your parents to give you this money to do business instead of doing a master's, or you would have probably used the money to start a business instead of saving up for your master's, assuming you're self-funded. It's time to think, okay, what's my next course of action? What am I going to do? I know that when I was graduating, my friends, one of the most annoying questions they told me that people used to ask them was, so what's next? What do you want to do next? What's next? And to be fair, I feel you can't blame people. Everybody wants to know, like, what are you doing? Are you going to start looking for a job? Let's say you came like from a job. Are you going to go back to your old job? Are you changing industries? Are you starting a business? Or you know what, you just want to take a year off to clear your head, so you want to do a lot of traveling. Let's say you've got the money. Or you want to go back to maybe say join your dad's family business or whatever you want to do. This is the best time to think, as in sit deeply and reflect, and don't just say, well, when we get to the bridge we'll cross it. The bridge will come so fast, you cross it and you'll be dizzy. So you definitely want to spend this time actually, you know, spending time online thinking, is this my preferred career path? Is this what I really want to do with my life? Or if this is what I want to do in my life, for how long? Am I going to do this for 5 years? Am I going to do this for the next 10 years? I know you cannot have all the answers, you know, figured out and whatnot, but at least to an extent, you should have an idea of what you want to do with your life. So I suggest that alongside you studying, you know, soaking yourself with the courses, definitely, you want to think, is this what I want to do with my life? Is this what I actually want to do with my life? So yeah, that's another thing you want to consider while you're doing your masters. Okay, so yeah, I hope I haven't missed any very important, you know, point that I wanted to talk about. If I have, as I'm speaking, I probably would just, you know, leave it in the screen. I'll try and reiterate the points that I said. I talked about relationships with your lecturers, relationship with the locals, relationships with other people that are not from your country, relationships with students. You know, it's such a small world, you never know. Harnessing skills, getting other certifications besides, you know, the academic certification that you came to do. I remember that during my master's, that's when I started like getting into this wig business, like being able to lay wigs and stuff. I started harnessing my YouTube skills, editing videos. In fact, my first YouTube video, it was that I did abroad. I borrowed the camera from my housemate, and I think a week later or 2 weeks later, I bought my own camera. But the first video that I did, it was her camera that I used. That just helped me to know the kind of camera that I wanted to use. So yeah, this hair that I'm wearing, I've done a video on this hair before. It's so pretty. I'm wearing it as a different style today. The last time that I did, I'll try to insert a video of when I wore the hair on my channel. I'm not wearing earrings, by the way, and it's from Klaiyi hair. This is the second time I'm wearing it on video, and I like it. The only thing or why I don't wear frontals every day is because you have to, if you don't lay a frontal right, like, don't even bother. Just better to just get a closure. But I like this hair because anytime I lay it, like, it's so natural. I don't know if it's coming off well in camera, but it's more brown. I don't know if you remember, this is the hair that I did. If you don't, I would insert like a tag so you can go and watch the video. I lightened this hair only with developer because I didn't want it to be blonde. I just wanted it to be brown. So far so good. This hair is good. I've washed it. You know, let me just turn around so you can see. And this video was brought to you by them. I'm gonna leave all the description in the description. All the details in the description. Hey, can I speak? I'm gonna leave all the details in the description box below, so you can definitely check out this hair from Klaiyi hair. And I'm gonna put all the lengths and everything. As I said, I just styled it as my signature, you know, side parts. And yeah, so yeah, that's about it for my video. If you have, you know, other points you think maybe based on your experience you want to share with students that are watching this, please definitely leave it in the description, leave it in the comment box. A lot of people learn from the comment box as well. And yeah, thank you guys so much for my vlog that I did, my last video that I did. I'm going to be trying to chuck out a lot of videos this week and next week, by the special grace of God. So yes, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This hair is from Klaiyi hair. I'm going to put the name here in case I'm not pronouncing it right. I'm going to put the website and everything. Don't forget, check them out, buy them, use my coupon code. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and till next time, stay blessed. Bye bye.